It's Thursday morning, and it's time for Tech for Seniors Live, where technology gets its deserved deep dive. This isn't happening via Zoom, so we can't see who's joining the show. So please sign in to the chat box below as we gather around the screen, both far and wide, with curiosity as our ever-trusty guide. We'll navigate the digital seas, a knowledgeable crew, exploring all the tech tips, both old and new. No need for cameras, no need for dress. Just bring your questions and we'll address. From gadgets to apps and all the tech lore, we're here to help, to teach, and much more. So type away in the chat. Don't be shy. Our tech-savvy hosts are here to reply. It's Thursday morning. Let the tech talk flow at the Tech for Seniors Live, the best tech show.
There we are. It is March the 7th. I'm Ron Brown. I'll be your host today. This is Tech for Senior Live on Thursday morning. Yes, it's Thursday morning, and it is our Thursday morning show. So welcome, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here. We have a great show for you and a very esteemed group of advisors or commentators today. We'll get into that in just a second. Many of you are probably wondering who the heck we are. If you're new here to the show, you're wondering who we are. Well, we're a group of seniors that actually likes to talk about news and technology. So we also are coming from our Monday show, which is on Monday, right? Monday shows on Monday, and it's called Tech for Senior. But it's a Zoom meeting, and we've been doing that soon to be, Huey, 5 years. March the 27th will be we'll be moving into our 5th season. So that's going to be a biggie for us as we and we've done over 200 shows. So that's that, and we have a lot of fun on Monday. But it is a Zoom meeting, and if you want to come and join us, let me just put our website up here. It's www.techforsenior.com. All the information there for our Zoom meeting is there. However, today isn't a Zoom meeting. We can't see you. We don't know who's out there, who's listening, because on Monday we can see everybody and talk to you, but we don't know. So we're hoping that you're going to put something in the chat. You'll let us know who you are, what the weather's like, and Huey's got a magnifying glass.
I'm trying to see.
So you can see what who's there, and we are going to we're going to hopefully be able to talk to you and see. But those of you, and I'm just looking over on my other monitor, and I see a few people logging into our Zoom account to see the show. We'll see you Monday. As I said, it's not our Zoom account. It's today we're broadcasting out from StreamYard out to YouTube and to Facebook. Now, those of you who do go to www.techforsenior.com, on our website, you'll see I've even done a video. I even made a whole video out to tell you how to get to the show today, and in the links there right on the show on the top left corner of our webpage, you can play the video and it tell you exactly how to get here. But it's really not that difficult. All you do is you either go to our Facebook page, which of course is just facebook.com, and it just type in Tech for Senior. And also, if you want to listen to the articles as we go through all the news reports today, just go to our Facebook page and you can see it as we go through all the news articles. And if you want to watch or subscribe to Facebook for our Facebook page, we go through and post articles every day. We're constantly going through the news. We're looking at different articles, and we're all sort of interested in a little bit different things. So, but it's so we always have new articles, the latest articles on our show. So on our Facebook page. Now, I got to tell everybody an interesting story. Yesterday I was listening to Leo. You know, everyone knows I listen to Leo Laporte. I've been listening to him for about 10 years. And he was doing he did a Sunday show, and I was listening to it on a podcast. And he was saying about how the new article, like a new article just came out that said Walmart bought Vizio. And I thought, we reported that last Thursday. We reported it before he did. So I thought, oh boy, I just had a smile in my heart when I think we beat Leo Laporte. So we're on track, and we do have the latest and current news articles of the week. So let me introduce everybody, our whole gang that's been with us since day one, long time. And so I'm, of course, Ron Brown, and I'm in British Columbia, where it's been a gorgeous last 3 days, but cold, over on Vancouver Island, up in a little town called Comox. Now, on the other side of the world, in a far, far distant country, in a little place called Florida, and we have, of course, Huey Poplick, who's there in Bradenton. And he's he's getting warm finally. I think it must be warming up for him. He's not just complaining about the cold as much. So Huey's here, and Huey, of course, is our co-host for our Monday show. So how are you doing today, Huey?
I am tired. I'm doing a lot of presentations this week. I got one tonight in WAUC in Wisconsin, and I've got this Sunday is the Windows Special Interest Group for CFCS and STUG. Both groups share the same group. And that's this Sunday. And then Saturday, I'm also doing Prescott at Arizona. So, and then it just keeps going on and on. And then next week, I'm working the early voting, signing people in. So I got 3 days of working the polls next week.
What type of polls are you working?
Election polls.
Election polls. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, I quit dancing on polls years ago.
I thought you had learned a new language.
Yeah. Right. Well, all right. And then, of course, we have with us a man. How will I describe him? A witty guy who's our security expert. He's been with us since the first day we did the show, and he's a prolific producer of YouTube videos. He's knowledgeable in all aspects of computers, and also a fun guy to hang around with, and that's why we like so much when we get together on Thursday. And that's Bob Gostisha from Los Lunas, New Mexico.
Tell me 53 degrees.
Oh, it's getting warm.
Usually I say 35. Today I can say 53.
And
things are looking up. Yep.
Very good.
We even have some budding on the rose bushes already. So,
yeah, my tulips are coming up, even though there's a little snow on them the last couple of days, but they're definitely coming up. So that's good news. And of course, from Pine, Arizona, we have a man who really needs no introduction because he's sort of a famous guy. He's the president of APCUG. He's so trustworthy that he's their treasurer. He looks after all the money. He's our music director for the show, and he provides all the music outros. And this week on Monday, it's my suggestion. I had a suggestion for him, so he said that's a good idea, and we'll do that for this Monday. So we won't tell you who it is, but you have to come watch the show to find out. But anyway, welcome Ray Baxter from Pine, Arizona.
Thank you so much, Ron. And yes, your suggestion was excellent. It was a singing artist I had never heard of before, but after reading the articles and doing a little research, very, very impressive.
And I guess because she's so old, right? I guess we've sort of
is 104 old?
I don't think so.
Here's my definition of old. No matter what age you are, anybody who is 15 years or more older than you are is old.
Is that right? Eh? Okay.
That's my definition of old.
Okay, good. All right, Huey, is there anybody listening to us?
They were. I think they quit.
They left.
Well, we had one that actually got here yesterday, and he's hoping we're going to talk about smart glasses, which I think we are.
We discussed that.
Yeah.
Ed says 54 degrees, partly cloudy in New Jersey. Mike Lehman from Moncton, New Brunswick, where it is -1 degree and snowing. Yikes. Dick Vogel, gorgeous day in Florida. JJ, sunny and cold in Waukegan, Illinois. Steve Powell, Kirkland, Washington, 35 degrees and sunny. Yep, about the same as it is here. Sally, Chris, sunny day in Kirkland, Washington. Vale, oh good. So what's bit? I enjoyed Bob, the poet introduction. Yeah, he did pretty good. Vale, of course, Vale and I go back a long way. Vale and I were involved in our computer club at Silver Ridge Resort in Mesa, Arizona. Vale, I don't know if I told you last week, they've got the computer club going again, and they've had a couple of meetings, and they're getting things going again. Pretty soon, you all will just have videos and no live pictures.
But we just have to keep starting earlier and earlier.
Well, I had to put that in. Bob made me do it, but it was just so cute. I thought I had to add that in. But we are going to start at 9. So even if our intros get longer and longer and longer, we'll just start them earlier and earlier, and so we still start at 9 o'clock. So
and also a reminder: daylight savings time starts Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep,
that's right.
So please remember that for Monday's show.
That's right. Yeah.
And for those in Arizona, we're going to start an hour earlier.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good point. Thanks for reminding us. Yeah.
If you don't, you'll come to the show and the show will be over.
Right. Well, that happens to lots of people because I get notes when people log in, and I say, "Oh, they just logged in an hour ago. They missed the show." Anyway, Clark, feeling better on a cloudy 56 Fahrenheit day near Trenton, New Jersey. Richard Clarkson, 53 degrees now in Southern California. Welcome, Richard. Geeks on Tour, Chris and Jim Gould from Geeks on Tour. They, of course, are part of our Monday show, and Chris does a regular session there called Photo Fun, and they're very good friends of ours. Usually they're traveling. I don't know if they're home now. Their feet keep going. They're always on the road. So I guess why they call themselves Geeks on Tour, right? They're always touring.
They're propeller heads.
Yeah. Richard Clarkson, hey, Geeks on Tour. Just nice to see you here and on your shows. Obviously, they have a big fan base. Liz Milford, hi from Ohio. And Bernard, Sterling Heights Computer Club in Detroit, Michigan. John. Yes, John, we got all your information. Tacoma, Washington here. 67 degrees old. Just found you all. Welcome.
No,
John. Let's give him
7 years old, not degrees.
Yeah. Let's give him a big hand. This is first time here. I think
All right.
this is, great. We always give you a big round of applause. Thank you for coming and listening. I saw that you actually logged in yesterday and left us a note, so thanks so much. We hope you didn't stay up all night waiting for the show today. We saw that you were. Edie says, little rain in Prescott, Arizona. Looking forward to Huey's presentation on Saturday. Geeks on Tour. Hi, Richard Clarkson.
And we're caught up.
And we're all caught up. Great. Excellent. So that's good news. So what we're going to do, we're going to start out with, we like to talk about a couple of articles that have come up in the news this week and sort of focus in on them. And so let me just get this up here. And this was an article that I talked to Ray about and said, this is sort of an interesting, this is, of course, Apple is had a $1.8 billion fine levied on it by the European Commission after concluding that the company used its dominance to restrict a movie streaming competition.
Music streaming.
Yeah, music. So, Ray, you're sort of up on this. This is sort of your area of the neck of woods. This is a big amount of money. I mean, even though Apple is $1 trillion company, what's the significance of this? What do you think is the significance of this? And like, what are we really talking about here? I mean, this is a big amount of money, eh?
Absolutely. The basic penalty for this particular claim that's brought by the European Commission is euros 40 million euros. They inflated it to 1.8 billion to send a message. Now I've heard of increases, but that is just out of the world. Now, while Apple will appeal this ruling to the European General Court, that's the next level up. Their decision will take several years. So in the meantime, Apple has to pay the fine, and they may get it back, but they'll be out of this money for that period of time. Now, it's no secret that Spotify, based in Sweden, which is in Europe,
right,
instigated this. They initiated this original complaint against Apple. So to me, this looks like the EU is once again going after non-European deep pockets. Let's not forget that Spotify is the most popular music streaming service in the world. So how has this negatively impacted Spotify? The main complaint is unfair favoritism, because according to the EU, Apple was unfairly favoring its own music streaming service over its competitors by not informing iOS users about less expensive alternative. Are they kidding? Why is it Apple's responsibility to tell them about their competition? So,
yeah, but it's not only Apple. This is happening also to Google, to Microsoft, all the big players in the EU. They, for some reason, figure that's a great way for us to make some money quickly.
So anyway, to me, to finish my point, it's up to the consumer to do their research and make their decision as to what they want to use. They also accused Apple of abusing its dominant position in the market. But lest they forget, again, as I said before, Spotify holds the dominant position. So in general, I'm pretty much always in favor of letting the market decide without the help of big government.
Huey, any comments?
Let's see. Where do we leave off? Right?
No. Any comments about that from you?
About that. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I just think the EU is forcing a lot of the companies to do all kinds of things, including Google, including Microsoft, like Ray said. And it's not just music; it's any aspect of the technology.
Okay. And Bob, your thoughts? Any positive or negative thoughts on it? Or
I totally disagree and disagree with EU, agree with Ray. These are the companies that came out and developed all of this. And now, because they're saying, hey, I spent all the money on developing it, but now I should get penalized for it. I'm sorry, just not correct. And it's trickling into not only EU, you know that we have states that follow whatever EU does. It now comes over here.
Right.
And the end result is going to be the average consumer is going to wind up losing on this.
Yeah, Apple with their iPhone, the EU forced them to have the USB-C plug on the bottom, and so they decided, well, we don't want to have two different phones, so they changed it for here in the U.S. Actually, that was for the good, but here a government is forcing a private company or public company to make changes in their hardware worldwide.
Okay. The second, I think we got, hold on here. So the second article I wanted to talk about was Google One AI Premium. And this is an article that came out, and it was outlining what Google, let me just explain what Google One is, first of all, and then we'll talk about Google One Premium. Google One is a service that Google has that's an add-on for your Google account. And for example, if you have a Gmail account, you'll have a certain amount of storage with Google. You store certain documents, or even Google Drive, you store certain documents on OneDrive or Google Drive. So you get so much for free, and then you can add onto that, and there's a tiered add-on. Now, over the last few years, Google has added other services in with those different tiers, right? So you have the option of buying these separate packages. Now, what came out this last year was not just Google One, but they call it Google One AI Premium. And so AI Premium is one of the tiers offered in the Google One subscriptions that gets you the same benefits as a regular Google One's premium subscription, but with a beefed up version of Google's Gemini, formerly Bard, chatbot, and integration with Google Docs and Gmail. Google One AI Premium costs $20 a month. And the next closest Google One plan is the 2 terabyte premium tier. Now, we're fortunate enough because Bob has this. Bob is subscribed to this, and so he has some knowledge. So I guess the reason I brought this up, and I thought it was a good topic to talk about, was because we're getting bombarded with the $20 AI, right? Everything's $20. How come is there price fixing here, Huey? Huey knows a lot about AI. Come on, why is it all $20?
They aren't, but the major ones seem to be. I was looking at one, and today they want $49 a month.
Oh,
and I saw a video on another. They want $800 a month.
Oh,
so they're not all 20. 20 is a good price.
Good price. All right. So yes,
the only reason I have it is because I happen to have some credit that I have to use up with Google. Right. And that will give me the next 3 months. Plus, they give you a month free. And I paid, so I have 5 months of this that I can be using.
You can be using.
I personally always do not just Gemini, but I also check with Copilot. And so far, Copilot has been winning out.
That's sort of what the article says. So let's go on now. Let's look at the next part of the article. So what is included in the subscription? Well, access to an improved large language model, which Google calls Gemini Advanced. So the question then is, Bob, is there something different about this Gemini than the other Gemini? And I know you've used both. That's the first. And then Gemini integration with Google Docs and Gmail. Do you have that, Bob? Is that available? Have you seen that?
Yes. It is available. You can use Gemini right within Google Docs, Google's presentation. I happen not to be using Google's presentation, but I use PowerPoint. And with the fact that I have Copilot Pro, it's also integrated with PowerPoint. And I like the image generation from Copilot a heck of a lot better than the one that you get with using Google's product.
Right.
Gemini is just not as good, especially when it comes to creating images, as Microsoft
so they
product.
talk about Gemini Advanced. I haven't heard of this Gemini Advanced thing before. Is this, Huey, is this new, or what's your scoop on the Gemini? Is there really a difference between Gemini and Gemini Advanced?
There is. I don't know if the Advanced and Pro are different. But yeah, they look at a larger group of data, and it's faster, and there's no limits on it.
All right, let's see. Let's go on now and say, now, if you're choosing between premium chatbot subscriptions, on the surface, the value proposition seems pretty even, with all three plans running around $20 a month. Oh, they're comparing Copilot versus the different services.
GPT Plus and Copilot Pro.
Yeah. And you should be aware that the time of writing, Gemini is unable to generate images of people. Google disabled it in response to the February 24 controversy. Each plan's usefulness is relative to which ecosystem you spend most of the time in. I'm referring to Gemini Advanced integrates with Google Apps, while Copilot integrates with Microsoft. If you already have a Microsoft 365 subscription, then ChatGPT Plus, in contrast, isn't integrated with nor dependent on any specific ecosystem. Well, that all makes sense, right? So it goes through this, and you can look at the article and see the different stuff about that. But it I guess depends on which ecosystem you're using. Like Bob said, Google, if you're using the Google products, then Gemini. If you're using the Microsoft products, then Copilot, and then ChatGPT is sort of a wash. But they're all about $20. So, Ray, do you use ChatGPT? Don't you mostly?
I've actually switched over to Copilot, but really? Yes, because it's much easier. It's right there in my browser. When I want to find something that I think Copilot's going to give me a more direct answer, I just click on that one button and bingo, I'm in it, and I can type in my prompt. But unlike you guys, I don't pay for any of these services. There's no reason I need to spend for what I do, because I'm very happy and satisfied. I would consider myself an Android, so therefore I stick typically with those products.
If you don't pay for it, you're not getting the current update. That's the part you have to realize. You have a time-sensitive response when you use the free version.
My point is, for what I use it for, I don't need to pay for a professional version. The Copilot free gives me everything that I need.
Correct.
So I'm keeping $20 a month in my pocket.
Yep. No, you're totally correct. If the information you need isn't for right now, then you don't need to pay for it, because you're going to get the same answer if you're asking for something that falls within the time frame covered by the free version. Pro isn't going to give you anything better.
All right, and then let's have a look here. In the last part of the article, I'm not going to go into that, but it's all available for looking. But here was the conclusion. The takeaway points of this was Google One's AI Premium offers Gemini Advanced chatbot integration, Google Docs integration, 2 terabyte of storage, VPN, and more for $19 or $20 a month. Gemini Advanced has improved reasoning skills, but can be inconsistent in response to certain kinds of prompts. AI Premium benefits may be worth it if you're already deeply embedded in Google's ecosystem. Otherwise, consider Copilot or ChatGPT Plus.
And Gemini can also give you recaps of videos, whereas Copilot does not.
All right. Huey, have we got any more listeners before we move on to the articles? Any more?
Let's see.
Steve Anderson from Apache Junction. Is Steve Is Steve new? Is this Steve's first time here?
The name ring a bell.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Steve, let's give you a big round of applause to Steve. I think Steve's new. If our memories are old and we can't remember and you've been here before, we apologize. But I think you're new here.
I think he is new too. I remember the Arizona people. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. Nice. Richard Clarkson, soon to be 81 degree. Sorry, soon to be 81. Age not weather. Oh, okay.
Very good, Richard.
I forgot. Good morning from Victoria. Genealogy Sig. Is that is that Murray?
I think
probably.
Okay. Deb Shannon, beautiful 74 degrees, sunny in Florida. Richard Clarkson, I can still do text to images in Gemini. Okay. Good one. All right, let's move on to the articles. We're going to go through them. Now, remember, if you want to watch as we do, you can go through them through with Facebook. You can just watch them as well. We'll start out with the first one is from, I think, is that Ray?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, Ray's first one. Okay, go ahead, Ray.
Is that on the DMA? Yes. Okay, so this is Europe's Digital Markets Act is forcing tech giants to make changes. And I picked this one specifically because it's a great follow-up to the first item that we discussed a little bit earlier. So the DMA is a set of European Union regulations that 6 tech companies will now have to follow. And they call these tech companies the gatekeepers. And they are Amazon, Apple, Alphabet, which is the Google parent company, Meta, Microsoft, and ByteDance, no less, which owns TikTok. So the article states some 22 services from operating systems to messenger apps and other things on the media platform will that they're focusing on. And they want these gatekeepers to include more information about rival services when the consumer is making a choice. And then the article also points out that other countries outside of Europe are creating their own versions of DMA rules for tech companies to follow. So as I stated before, in my opinion, it should be up to the user to decide what technology they want to use without the government's help.
Okay. And as we move down, this is an article that that I just added this morning in response to a comment we had from our viewer, John, right? Introducing, now this is an article, of course, introducing the new Ray-Ban sunglasses from Meta, and these are, of course, smart glasses. So you can, I won't go through the article, but these of course, you may have a look at this, John. Maybe that's helpful for you. Jolin's not here today. Jolin's one of our viewers, and she actually has, I think it was at Amazon's or Google's smart glasses, and she quite liked them and she owned them. She has had them for a few years now, and she really is quite interested. And she's the only person I know that actually has ever had smart glasses, because smart glasses have been around for a while now. Do you? So we'll probably talk more about this. Amazon had a set earlier this year. We talked a little bit about on the show. I guess we'll see what happens. And this obviously is a topic we need to explore more about. Do you guys have any more experience with smart glasses? I don't.
No. But one of the things John was asking about is a way to be able to help remember names of people that are in front of them, and none of them have that ability. That would be facial recognition, and actually, that's illegal in some areas, or it's highly regulated. So it would not be something that, right. If you're talking to somebody, their name's not going to flash up on.
That'd be so cool, because I can never remember names, right? So then you walk along and it's flashed up the name, right? Yeah, I don't think that's going to fly.
Now, John says he just responded to what we're talking about here. Let me get over to the other group here. He says Ray-Ban is short battery life and can't view documents. One of the things that's out there, and I think it's called Imagine, was the thing you would wear on your clothes that had actually it wasn't a pin, it was a magnet that would hold it to your shirt, and then you could hold your hand out in front and you could read what it was saying. So but that's I forgot, it was a couple of $100 for the for the item. It was maybe $400, and then there's
$199.
Was it $199, and then there's a monthly fee on top of it. So I don't know how well they're doing. They're actually based not too far from me, but I haven't read anything on how they're doing since they released it.
Well, John, I can tell you we're going to talk more about this in the future. I think it's a good topic, and we have skirted on this in the past, but something that we probably should spend more time.
From all the reviews that I've read, they said that the smart glasses still aren't smart enough.
Yeah. No, I just want to view documents with PPL names on it. Okay.
People names, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Right. Okay, let's go on to the next one.
Okay. This is Ray again.
I think this is yours.
Okay, it's just the one about Windows 11. Windows 10 still has double the number of uses of Windows 11. Isn't that amazing? According to this article, over 67% of Windows users are still using Windows 10, while the Windows 11 users is about 28%. Now, the article is a bit misleading where it says the end of life for Windows 10 is fast approaching. I don't consider October 2025 right around the corner.
Right.
But it really is the strict hardware requirement has been the issue, as we all know. Now, as an example, Carol has an HP desktop that has an i7 7th generation and a Windows Surface laptop book, which has a i7 6th generation. Both of these computers were a hefty price when they were new, and neither one will work with Windows 11 because Windows 11 requires a minimum of an 8th generation.
I have Windows 11 on a 7th generation. So, and
that's the exception. Most people will have a 7th generation. So I'm not going to talk about exceptions. I'm just talking about the rule. And so we plan on waiting until all the AI feature updates are in place before purchasing a new Windows 11 computer.
Ray, we've also on the show talked about possibly Windows 12. Now that would be
happen. I predicted for a while they're not going to have 3 operating systems in place at one time. So the latest reports are they're going to stick with Windows 11 and just add all the new AI features to a later Windows 11 version.
Okay. All right.
And now this is what is a Windows 11 moment. So to me, one of the aspects of the Windows operating systems I don't like is over the years, all the confusion as to naming Windows updates. Today, it's a little better when you see 22H2. We all, I think, know that means it's from the second half of the year 2022. But what the heck is a moment? Well, Microsoft uses moment updates to roll out new features as they become ready for Windows 11 without the need to install them when they become available. They're their annual updates, but they're not automatic, and the user can choose when they want to do the updates. So last week, the Moment 5 update became available, several new features, including some new Copilot commands. So this optional rollout will take a few months to become widely available, but that's what a moment is.
We're going to be talking more about that tomorrow, Sunday at the Windows Special Interest Group.
Good. And some of us have been using it for a while already.
Yeah.
If you're an insider, so.
Yeah. And here's my last one, and I thought this was really interesting. Amazon is going to be using a 100% powered nuclear data center. Okay, so there's a company called Talon Energy, and they sold the 6th largest nuclear power plant in the U.S. to Amazon Web Services. And they're going to use that power to develop a large data center in Pennsylvania. The article states there is an enormous demand for what Amazon Web Services provides, and that takes energy. So this concept here is to converge digital infrastructure and clean power.
They'll start with a data center, and eventually we'll end up with cars with powered the same way.
All right, this was an article that I put on this morning, and I thought it was a good article, and it's leading into something Vale Williams will be so excited about, which we have an article coming up, and I'll tell you why Vale will be so excited about this. But here is why should you buy a dual monitor instead of an ultra wide? And there was some reasons for that, and we'll talk about this a little bit later. And I thought, well, it's a good thought, because of course everyone wants more real estate. And should you have two monitors, or should you have a really big curved ultra wide monitor? You've got a wide, do you have the really big monitor?
No, I don't. I've got two 28-inch.
Yeah, you got the two monitors.
But this article says you should buy dual monitors instead of an ultra wide. This is on my list for talking on Sunday at the Windows SIG. But I also have another article that says I have a ultra wide monitor, and it's the best thing since sliced bread. So I'm going to talk about both articles.
Well, one of the things you have to remember is that it depends on what device you have. If you have a PC, then yes, two monitors work fine, and you can do that. If you have a laptop, then you have, of course, your small laptop screen, and your second monitor will be whatever, but you don't get a third monitor unless you get a docking station. So the ultra wide would be much better if you have a laptop, because then you don't need a docking station, right? So, but if you have a PC, then then go for the two monitors. So I think that depends on something. But there's even something more interesting coming up, and I'm not going to give away that because it's related to another article coming up here that, as I said, Vale Williams will be so excited about.
Ron, it could also be that one of them used Copilot to produce the article, and the other one used Gemini.
Oh, Bob, you're such a... is this... Oh, this was fine. Windows new monitor. Oh, yeah. So did you guys so you guys are into more AI than I am. Microsoft's new Windows 11 feature drop arrives with more AI features for Copilot needed.
Yeah,
Did you guys, are you guys using that?
We already covered that.
Did we? Okay.
Ray's article.
All right. Now this happened to me. I don't know about you. Did you guys see this? So I went to log on to TV the other day, and and I get a sign like that saying, Roku says, do you agree to our change of terms of service? And you can't do anything. I guess you could say no and it kicks you out, but you can't look at there's no way. I'm on the TV. I get up in the morning, grab my coffee. I go to throw on the TV, and that's the first screen that comes up. And
that's why you need a computer, because you can ask it questions.
Well, I didn't want to go downstairs and look at my computer. I wanted to watch TV. So the only thing it says, do you agree to the new terms of service? What they are, who knows? So most people just hit yes, and then boom, that lets you in, and you can do. And I've seen that now on my phone, and on something on my phone, and on this. And I thought, this isn't fair. How they're holding you up for ransom, like you. So I wonder, is this even legal anyway? What you're agreeing to is not to sue them. Well, I'm not going to sue Roku. I just want to watch my morning show in the morning with my coffee. I don't really want to worry about that. But is this really legal? And that's what this article is all about. Did you guys get that? Did you see this on your?
Yep.
Did you just hit yes and say yes and off you went? You didn't know what you signed?
I do. I do it on a lot of ways. I get emails all the time, and we had an update in our services, and okay, thank you.
Right. Yeah, but
we didn't get it yet, and I have the same TV you do, Ron.
Oh, so yeah. Sure. You haven't seen that yet. Okay. No. Well, or maybe Carol saw it and she just hit it and said yes. And
that's possible.
And just said to heck with. I mean, because you can't do anything. It's your TVs. Let me know in the chat, if you've had the same experience.
So Roku, just like a roller coaster ride. You have to agree not to sue them before you get on it.
Right.
Good comparison. Very good, Bob.
That's not fair. I mean, I don't think that's going to stand up in court. Like, come on. Oh, the other one that happened this week was I was reading the article, and it's to do with LG washers. was it washers or dry? No, fridges, LG refrigerators. Big problem with the compressor in LG refrigerators. And you had to and the argument now is because there's a class action lawsuit, and the argument was that the LG said, well, you agreed to our new terms of service when you bought the refrigerator, and of course the terms of service was placed on the cardboard box on the outside of the refrigerator. Well, all the people that had the refrigerators delivered didn't come in a cardboard box. The delivery company took that off before the refrigerators got there. So anyway, I thought, well, this is sort of the same story. Anyway, it goes on and on. All right.
Richard Clarkson had a comment on your Roku.
Roku will lose a lot of money via sales of TV devices and subscriptions because of this. Mailing him a letter would be like mailing to Santa Claus, a waste of time. It will just get round filed. I have a Roku device, but I also have a Chromecast device, Seymour.
Richard, I'm sure the EU will take this up.
Yeah.
And be able to pass action on this one.
Yeah. I thought, excuse me, I thought, wow, this is crazy. Anyway, yeah, Richard, we're in the same agreement there. Oh, so this was, this is getting close. And this sort of is technology, but this was an interesting. We're very close to recreating the woolly mammoth, the prehistoric. This is very, very close. Company trying to resurrect a mammoth makes a stem cell breakthrough. They actually have the DNA for this, and they're making stem cells to actually create this. Did
somebody realize there is a reason why these things died out?
Well, I don't know if I'm not arguing if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I knew that this was happening, and I knew that the people were working on this, but this is very close now to happening. All right. So you can read the article. I'm not going to go into that, but you can read the article, but it's sort of cool.
And you need to watch the Jurassic Park movies to find out what the results can be.
Right. All right. Sorry, just let me clear my throat here. So Vale, here's the new reason that I was mentioning the 2-monitor issue. This is the new MacBook Air that's come out, the M3 processor. And in this particular machine, it will allow 2 extra displays in it that you plug right in. No any extra circuitry needed, and 2 extra displays you plug right into the laptop. This is the new MacBook M3, and it will be it was just released and should be pretty exciting. Plus you can plug like dual monitors right into and all 3 will work. You know, that's sort of cool. So you don't need a docking station or anything like that. So this is an incredible machine. I don't know what the price is yet on it. Vale, are you going to buy one? I want to know if Vale's going to get one. Vale's really into Macs, and he was always the Mac side, and I was the PC side. So we'll find out what's happening with this. But this is a pretty interesting machine. Before we go on to the next article, have we got any more comments, Huey, that we should maybe do some comments?
Sure. Let's take a look.
Vale, one should be very careful using magnets pinned to clothing in relationship to any device due to problems magnets cause to pacemakers. Okay. Richard, I have glasses that take video. I have had them for a few years now. Camera is in the piece that goes over your nose. So there's something over your nose on the glass. Okay. I don't personally need all the AI features, just maybe a free version of Copilot and or Gemini, still using Windows 10. Bob Baxter, Redmond, Washington, mostly sunny, 38 degrees and heading for 48. John, smart glasses will help elderly people having English to English transcription appear on the lenses. So hard of hearing, can see that others are saying. Some SGs smart glasses already have this feature, but expensive. Right. So I think what's going to happen, John, is I think that probably these smart glasses need to link to your phone, because your phone already does a lot of these features and does a lot of the transcription and stuff like that for you. And so I'm not sure. It's going to be expensive to have this redesigned. I would think the easiest thing would be to link somehow to your phone and have the services transcribed up to the glasses. I sort of think that would probably be, unless you have this massive headset that you're going to be wearing.
Kind of closed captioning for real life.
Yeah, right. Anyway, Bob, a big thank you from Bob Gustisha to welcome his new 38 newcomers to his channel. Good stuff, Bob.
You missed one.
You missed one is right. How targets.
Yeah.
And that's from.
And that's one of yours too.
Oh, I can't see it. Can you bring that up?
It's there. I got it.
You got it? Did you put it up?
You got to switch me. There you go.
Oh, yes. So this was a very interesting article. Do you guys I don't know if we still have Target in Canada, but this is Target's new membership program. So we have talked about Amazon a lot, and Bob's talked about Walmart Plus, right? So this is Target's new membership, and it's in how the program stacks up against Amazon and Walmart, and it's called Circle. I can't read the bottom. Is it
Target 360 Circle?
Target 360 Circle, and I think it's $49 for the first 6 months, and it's going to offer similar services to other Walmart and Amazon, trying to be in the competitive nature. I don't know. I have no idea how this is going to turn. I just wanted
The biggest problem they have, there just aren't as many Target stores as there are Walmart stores, or it's not as large as Walmart or Amazon.
Right.
So I don't know if the convenience is going to be as great as it is with Walmart and Amazon.
And they also don't have as many groceries in their large Target stores that Walmart has.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you are a Target customer and you do a lot of shopping at Target, maybe you could put in the chat if you've heard about this, if you're interested in it. I thought it was interesting because it's it is a big national chain, and I thought that, and they're going to have same day delivery service on there, and I'm not sure the company that's supposed to be providing the service. So I don't know how this is all going to work out, but if you've heard of this and you are interested, let us know. I'm sort of interesting. If I'm not a Walmart, I'm not a Target shop. Even when I lived in Mesa for the 10 years, I never really shopped at Target. I'm just not a Target person. But anyway, there we go. Okay, keep going. That we talked about that. That was the article about Google One's AI.
That's, we already talked about.
Oh yeah. So hold on, go back up to that. So if you don't agree to it, they disable the Roku. Is that right? Roku disables TV and streaming devices until users consent. Oh, so if you say no to that,
I don't think you can say no.
No,
I think the only choice was that you agree.
Yeah, I think that's crazy. Was this mine?
Yep.
Amazon's new Rufus chat. Oh, right. Has anyone used? So they've got a new chat bot that is that's on. I couldn't find it, but Amazon's new Rufus chat bot isn't bad, but it isn't great. And this was from TechCrunch article. Have you guys heard about this? Have you guys used this? This is Rufus is supposed to be Amazon's shopping AI, and I had never heard of this. If you've heard of it, if anyone's heard of it out in the audience that's listening and has used it, I thought, well, maybe it just isn't in our Canada Amazon system. Have you guys heard of it or used it?
Nope.
No.
Okay. No. Okay. Let's move on then. That's but it's interesting. They've apparently got one. Oh, and this was a cool Waymo launches driverless rides for employees in Austin, Texas. So for those of you who live in Austin or living in that area, Waymo was coming, and Waymo was actually used quite extensively in Mesa. They had a big center there. Ray, did you ever? So what was one I was going to do with our computer club, but unfortunately COVID hit. Or my next project with the club was we were all going to go on a Waymo ride. I was going to have the Waymo, the taxis come in, pick everyone up, and we were going to go for an ice cream cone because nobody had been in a self-driving car. I thought that would be really cool. But so it's coming to Austin, Texas as well now.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll see them on the road. I'll see them on the road when I'm down in the Phoenix area driving. And remember the first time we saw it go by, I said, "What the heck is that?" Because it has this. It almost looks like a fan on the back, big openings, etc. That's where all the computers are. And I learned later that that's a self-driving car.
Yeah.
So now when I see them, I stay clear.
Yeah. Right.
Guys, I have to go.
Okay. Bye, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Elon Musk sues OpenAI and Sam Altman over the betrayal of nonprofit AI mission. So, for those of you who don't know, Elon Musk was a founder of OpenAI, and part of his large donation he made to it was that it was going to be a nonprofit organization, and I guess that sort of has changed a lot now with, of course, his success and Microsoft's big involvement. So he wants his money back. So I think so. That was the article. So that'll be an interesting one. For those of you who are new or who are doing any video work, doing any broadcasting, or this is Logitech's new MX Brio, which is 4K capability. There are a lot of these. This is a webcam. There are a lot of them. Brio, of course, is made by Logitech. There are a number of Brio type cameras available, and this is the latest one. So if you are considering and wanted another webcam and are looking at that, just let you know this is just come out, and this is you might want to have a look at this. There's some interesting features with that.
Ron, does this camera have the facial recognition?
It does not. It does not. This camera specifically, I looked at that, Ray, does not work with, what is it? Windows Hello? No, it does not work with Windows Hello.
Yeah, see, I have a Logitech that I paid. It was pretty, it was $140, I think, but it does work with Windows Hello, and it's
Right.
It's not the one I'm using today, but I'm very satisfied with it.
I looked at that because since I knew you used it, so I wanted to find out, but this specifically does not work.
Well, this is similar to a couple of the cameras that I have that are ultra wide. The problem is when you're using it for just you and say a Zoom meeting, it includes a lot more of the room.
Right.
And it's ultra wide. It's ideal if you're in a situation where you're at a presentation where there's a lot of people there and you want to include as many as you can get in the view. Then these things are really good.
Right. All right. Next. Yes. So we talked about Sora last week. So this was a big article. And I'm not going to go into this, but what this article is about is Sora is OpenAI's is text to video generation. So you say, make me a movie about whatever, and it will do that. And these are some more movies that were made with Sora. So it's called Sora, and you'll be hearing a lot about that. And we talked about it last week, and that is the text to video generation that OpenAI has.
Yeah, and there's another one that's out that's similar to it that's available now, and it's free, and it's called Ideogram, I believe. I'd have to look it up, and I can't right now, but it's pretty good as well. Mm-hmm. Sora is still not available to the general public.
So.
This is you too, Ron. Oops.
So Pixel, the Pixel 8a is it being released yet? I can't remember if the 8a is out yet. I don't think so, but it's getting a price. There will be the 8's out, but anyway, there will be a price increase on it, and they're changing the memory requirements in it a little bit. So just to let you know about that. This is the new.
That's the one we already talked about.
Yeah, we talked about that one. And Apple introduces new transfix for Apple Podcasts. I just put that out there. Does that affect anyone here? Like, I don't do Apple Podcasts.
I do, but I do it on an old iPad. And so I don't think this will work. I'll have to try it on my newer iPad and see what it does.
Yeah, so it does transcripts for you, and so that's sort of cool. Just to let you know that that's happening.
And I think we're going to have to end with this one and some final comments, and we're done for the day.
Okay. So just what we will be talking about a lot more in the future. Amazon is now new home internet service gets FCC approval to start mass testing. This will be in service this year. So
that's the Amazon Kuiper, and that's where they've got satellites up, and they're ready to. What they're doing is they're doing a test with different type of receivers, and they're going to test them all over the country, and see which one they're going to end up using as their receiver.
It is so that is very interesting, and we'll be talking about more about that as it becomes available, and see what competition is great. So we'll see how that affects Starlink. And
a few final comments.
Geeks on Tour, click the little button next to manage page. The view will be better for us viewers.
I did that, and it just made the other column there, so it didn't work. So I tried that. Maybe I could make it bigger. I don't know.
John says, saw video where self-driving cars could not recognize construction crew holding stop sign before entering one lane for cars going in both directions. Yikes.
Whoops.
Whoopsie. Dick says, my wife looked at the new features in Target 360 Circle, but found her red card met all her needs. Thanks, Dick. Dick, can you keep a note on that and let us know if you're a Target shopper? This new service they're just starting, and I'm just curious as to how it's going to work out. The Walmart Plus is a real sleeper, and Bob's really happy with his service, and I think the Walmart Plus is going to be really, really a good service for Walmart users. I'm pretty excited about that. Well, Bob really likes his service. He doesn't think that he's going to continue on with Amazon. So anyway, interesting. Well, it is top of the hour. That was a great show, eh? Thanks everyone. Thanks everyone for coming. Lots of good articles, lots of good information. We will be back same time, same place next week. And don't forget to watch our Monday show coming up this Monday. Was there another comment there, Huey?
Yeah.
Red card is free. Okay, great. So we will see everybody next week, or drop into our Monday show. We have a few new people on the show today. If you want to come to our Zoom meeting on Monday, the link is in techforsenior.com, our webpage, and come and enjoy the meeting on Monday. Otherwise,
the WinSig is Sunday.
And the WinSig is Sunday. So, all right, we'll see everybody in a week's time or earlier. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Well,